We are here with our first guest, Connor. He is was a boy when I last had seen him, and now he's a man. He's a man with a big
lost
beard.
me in a crowd.
Yeah.
And now I'm a man. I've emerged from the urban jungle.
Now he's Big Chungus.
Now I'm Big Chungus. I didn't think it would show my name. I just typed something in. So.
Is that who you are? Are you Big Chungus? Is that your thing?
You know, I feel like Big Chungus like maybe 2 out of 7 days of the week.
What is a Big Chungus personality like?
Big Chungus. Big Chungus is like, you know, do stuff first, ask questions later. Big Chungus is like eat a lot of food, regret it later. Right. It's all regret it later, basically.
Okay. But it's fun stuff. You do something that's like enjoyable, like in the moment.
Just in the moment. Yep. It's like when Bugs Bunny, like, you know, he didn't think about when he cross-dressed all those times with Elmer Fudd, how it would affect him later. And there you go. It's a Big Chungus move.
Yeah. So, I mean, how did it affect him later? Did he?
No. There's a better way to say that, right?
How did it affect him? I mean, I don't know. So Chuck, you were saying that Connor has some things going on. So we want to do a little "What's new with you" situation here with Connor. Like, what's new with you?
Oh, with me?
Yeah, with you.
Chuck?
With you.
Oh, with me and Chuck?
Well, Chuck typically.
I was just piling mulch. I'm moving mulch to the backyard. We're making the backyard a paradise. It's all Chuck's vision though. So I'm just going according to the plan.
Yeah.
Beautifully. It's turning out really nice. Connor's doing a great job.
Right.
It's actually no joke. It's like, you know, he like took a tractor to the backyard and like terraformed the whole place, right? Like it's night and day difference from when he first got here.
Really? Well, I'm very proud of him for doing that.
You might.
Chuck's very industrious when left to his own devices.
Yes.
Right.
And so domestic too. He's just a domestic animal now.
Oh yeah. Since I've seen you, Mike, I've gone through a few women, but the newest one's pretty good.
No.
Pretty good? You sure you wanted to say pretty? She's pretty and good, or she's just pretty good?
Pretty good. I don't want to give her a big head if she sees this.
Right.
No, she is.
Exactly.
She really is.
And Chuck was saying you're working on like some film stuff, or like what's happening with that? What is he said that to me, and I didn't get much more detail than that.
Just production. I'm just bouncing from job to job and just not getting paid for it because you know you gotta strangle everybody down. You gotta chase them down with a shillelagh stick. So.
Right.
And that was an undersell. That was an undersell. That's what's called underselling. We're trying to oversell.
He does that a lot. He's very modest.
We're trying to oversell it. So, and production. What do you mean by production? Like, what do you produce?
Well, I produce a lot of footsteps as I go around and make things happen around the set. But I was doing stuff like at the Aria. They got the commercials. They're constantly kind of churning it out. It's a funny thing because with the commercials, they're trying to bring in like people like teams from California for like higher production value, but they're also like, it's like when you get greenlit for something. And they're like, we're good with all this money going here to all this commercial stuff to see how it goes. But I can't sleep at night. I'm not good with this. I don't know why I greenlit this. So it's this constant fighting of like, do we need this much like California Hollywood production value for our commercials? Or can we just stick with our shitty team that brings in the the spotlight with the 4 flaps? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you showing this commercial to people in Vegas or California? Because I have a very distinct answer to your question. If it's the people in Vegas, you don't really need much production, I don't think.
No.
You know?
No, you don't. That's the answer. They're all coming here. They're all getting paid. And it's nice. I think they're looking to make that step. They see that, like, people are coming from California and like Las Vegas is going to be California Desert Adventure real soon here. Mm-hmm. So they want LA production values around this stuff to bring it, to not lose that. If the population like moves over from California, from LA over to here, and they don't establish like that they should be gambling and doing all the fun stuff here on the strip, then they're going to lose them, because then they're not, it's like how they're losing the locals to local bars and or just general. They're not, no one's going out gambling and spending all their money on the strip. So they want those California people to go. So they want California production value too.
I see. So
And they're not hurting at all though. They're making like the most money they've ever made right now.
Ever made. But people in-house want that money. Like the client we work with, they want that money for that project. They don't want to shuck it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe they cleared $1 billion last month, I think, right?
It's gross. Yeah, it's real gross.
So you're saying the local people don't go to the strip as much? The people that are like Vegas natives, they don't do that anymore?
Yes, sir.
But the
Certainly
people.
not my generation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, we were just there to kill time. It was my birthday recently, so my friends took me to the strip to kill time.
Yeah.
And we were all like, "Oh, that's new. Don't remember that building. Like, it's like the new Resorts World, things like that. Like, yeah, we don't go down there. When we go down there."
So it's more of a tourist thing, or transplants would go there.
Yeah, it's just that even if you were the kind of person who wanted to, there's a lot of they call them gamers out here, people who are on the Keno machine, on all the machines.
Right.
You just go to a PT's. There's 200 PT's in town. Like, you just like drive 5 minutes north, south, east, or west.
200?
Dude, it's ungodly how many there are.
What do you mean? What do you mean by PT?
Not a lot.
A PT's bar, pub and bar, and
Pub
or
and bar.
whatever.
Okay.
The local drinking hole.
Oh, here, you want to talk shit? You coming in? No. Sorry, someone was talking shit on the sideline.
She can't help herself, dude. She can't help herself.
Yes, his wire isn't adding much if you want to hop in for him.
Yeah.
What is that? Like a Wawa in Philadelphia. Like, those things are all over the place. I'd never seen one of those in my life. And there's Wawas everywhere. And now
it's just the Wawa. It's pretty much.
Like
they're everywhere.
The PT's is like the Vegas version of a Wawa.
PT's is a bar, straight up. I mean, but
that's the Vegas version of everything. It's always a step above.
I guess so. I mean, you get a sandwich there, but I don't think you're getting any coffee. But it's pretty much, there's so many of them, and it's because they ate up all the local bars. So.
Right.
It's like a Dunkin' Donuts around here. There's just so many Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Pretty much. By the way, I don't mean to shift gears too much, but I always think about the East Coast breakfast as opposed to the West Coast breakfast.
Yes.
Is this old hat? Stop me whenever you want. But like, how the East Coast breakfast, it's always like a pastry and a coffee, and the whole like Eastern block of the United States just runs on like Edelman's and like a Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Everyone gets Dunkin' Donuts coffees.
They're everywhere in Boston. It's like, and I mean New England, really.
Yeah, it's like that SNL skit with Casey Affleck when he's in Dunkin' and he's like at the broken screen. He's throwing the coffee on the guy's, windshield, and he's like, he's like farting in the place. Like, it's just like that's what it is. That's morning for us.
Yeah.
For us assholes.
Caffeine, sugar, and
there is no real Wawa equivalent here, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's tough. So what do you do for breakfast over on the West Coast? What do you do for it?
Well, the West Coast is always had like a little bit of what's the best way to put it? Like a polarized, or kind of like a different kind of dynamic where it's like, it's the Southwest, so you've got like the cowboy culture. So, cowboys, they go and get a big old breakfast, a big egg and giant French toast breakfast, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of have that new age urban approach to breakfast, which is pretty much like no breakfast at all, or like a shake, or like toss some granola in your face, and just run with the day. It's like work your way to lunch, but the big cowboy breakfast is kind of becoming a thing of the past.
So do you guys have coffee at all during the morning, or no?
Sure. A lot of instant coffee. Which, you know what? I can't say that I got instant coffee in the morning, but that's like an East Coast thing. That's like
Well,
that's like an urban.
That's just like
Houston.
that's not, no, I mean, it's not East Coast. East Coast is like a Keurig, making the real deal, or you go out and get it. You get either a foofy coffee at like a Starbucks or a Mary Lou's, or you get a Dunkin' Donuts, or or you go in.
Yeah.
People always drink. I don't drink coffee in the morning typically, but so many people do that. And you think it's because of that intermittent fasting craze that you get these people trying to make it to lunch, because it's, if you eat less, it's compress your eating. It's supposed to be more healthy.
It's gotta be, man. I mean, I think a lot of people are just getting used to the idea of they have jobs where they're not moving around a lot. So it's like, they can coast. They can coast off vapors of just waking up. Plus, I feel like when you don't, I'm kind of that guy too. I grew up in like the cowboy version of this town, and then it got overtaken real fast. And like, I kind of subscribe to the idea of like, I really don't really want something in my stomach right when I get up, because then I don't want to do anything, which is a bad thing when you don't have a 9 to 5-er. So,
plus if it's summer, it's fucking hot, and like that does not make you hungry.
Oh, yes. Good point. And Connor, when these LA crews come in, do you work with these LA crews on the production? Would you be, or would that be like, oh, we can't hire you this job because the LA is coming in and taking over, or do you work together?
Oh no, they're good. I mean, they bring all their important pieces to the equation already. When they hire in, you got the grip, electric, the camera, like they all bring their guys. I'm just a helping hand. Like they just, they'll get anybody for that. They don't really care. Plus they kind of, what use is it bringing everybody that that doesn't let you network? So they want to bring in a couple, rogue elements so that they can network and have some tendrils here in Vegas. Then I'll recommend them for stuff because I liked working with them, something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, you got to get your foot in the door somehow, right? You got to do what you got to do. If you
have to.
But do you get people coffee? Do you get people Dunkin' Donuts? Is there a Dunkin' Donuts out there? I need to know.
There's Dunkin' Donuts. You got Starbucks. The eternal Starbucks is everywhere.
Yeah.
The Dunkin' Donuts is here now.
Wow.
I mean, here's the thing. Like dude, any one of these questions you ask me, I even feel bad talking about shit half the time because like Vegas is so different from everywhere else. And I know that's what everybody says, but like, it's just a weird place. So like you have a lot of people moving from California, but you got a lot of people from Chicago. You got a lot of people from New York. Yep. You have everybody responding to that. This is naturally, you could call it a parasitic town. Like, it's like, this is the place everyone goes to, and we like grab their money from them. Right. So it's a weird machine. This whole place is a very strange mechanism.
I love it. I freaking love that.
Yeah.
Dude, so I get something to show you.
No, Connor's actually leaving town this weekend, not to publicly disclose your plans, but I mean, this will be going out later anyway. You're going to Teja.
Yeah.
I wonder, have you ever had
Texas Texas?
Barbecue? Yeah. Teja. It's going to Texas. Yeah. And he's going to eat some barbecue.
Go down to Texas.
Maybe.
That's right.
When you go there, you got to, if you do eat any barbecue, definitely bring back some reviews, because I still don't think there's very good barbecue here in Vegas. Have you had good barbecue here anywhere?
All the good barbecue joints are either like in a little corner somewhere. A good place for just a good cut of meat, I wouldn't say barbecue, is that Rolling Block. I think it's called, is it Rolling Block or Smoking Block? Something like that.
That's actually Rolling Rock. It's a beer. Rolling Rock?
I knew it couldn't be Rolling Rock because it's Rolling Rock beer. Rolling Block. Yeah. No,
Rolling Cock is actually something different. We'll go over that later.
Rolling Cock never pulled that maneuver off without pulling a hammy.
Yeah, the Rolling Cock is tough.
Yeah, always make an ass out of myself. Usually end up with my own ass on myself. It's not a good move.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but I've seen you do it.
Oh, no. Mike was there all along.
I was there.
tour.
So what are you doing in Texas?
I'm going to go to Texas and I'm going to pull a death wish and I'm going to come back after talking with my business associate with a big fucking gun. I'm going to just go on a rampage.
Yeah.
No, don't put that out.
Yeah.
Lose a few family members, go on a fucking rampage. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Good movie.
I would just go look for riots and just shoot people out on this.
Okay. There you go. Now it's real.
Now we're gonna get, now what FBI is gonna be following our fucking.
I mean, how many people are in the FBI? That's got to be at least 200.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Big numbers.
200. Maybe even
They're coming for Murphy first.
So what are you doing in Texas, though? What are you...
In all honesty, I'm going to go see my buddy Alex. He just moved there.
Nice.
And not, relatively speaking, but he just got a house there. And he's got a good, nice plot of land. It's on East Texas, perfect weather, big trees.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of work to do in the backyard. So I thought, I'd go see the house. I'd go see the kid. He just had a baby.
Right.
And I've seen the baby maybe once before they left. I was going to go see the kid and then go work on the backyard with them.
That's nice.
And try and, yeah.
Are you going to bring your girlfriend with you, or she's not invited?
No, she's working. And also I felt like, I don't want to, they're just moving into the house. I didn't want to while things are still, boxes are still up.
Overimpose. Yeah.
Right. So you didn't want to travel with her. I get it. Okay. So let me show you this one. I'm going to share my screen here.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen.
I just had to eat that one. Yeah.
And this is going to be, all right. Am I sharing it yet? Oh, I haven't shared it yet.
Not yet.
You share?
Oh, here we go.
Do you see it?
Oh!
Do you see who that is? Connor, this is to kind of bring it back to what we did before.
Okay.
Is this podcast just going to be about fucking this dude?
Look at that guy. Is that the most beautiful man you've ever seen? I mean,
about fucking
Connor, if you connected your stash, you might look pretty similar to him, actually. I mean,
I think too much, man. I got too many wrinkles where I think. This guy doesn't think a whole lot because he's smooth as a baby.
Yeah, he's smooth. I mean, so we had this discussion and I said, who's the most beautiful man in the world? And then Chuck said, well, the time just voted on it was Paul Rudd. And my point is, look at this guy and tell me that Paul Rudd could compete with this guy in a beauty contest.
Okay, so what did Paul Rudd win most beautiful man, or did he win most handsome man?
It's like sexiest man alive or something. But
sexiest man alive. Okay, so sexy includes funny nowadays because women like it when men are non-threatening and enjoyable to be around, charismatic. So that's good. But if we're talking most beautiful man, I don't see Paul Rudd measuring up to Jared Leto. For sure.
I mean, I don't think Paul Rudd's sexiness does anything for me compared to Jared Leto either. But you could make that argument. I see what you're saying about the sexy. Funny is sexy, that kind of thing. But this guy's he's perfect. I told the story last time, but I met Jared Leto and I was speechless and it's almost I can't even look him in the eye right now. It's just too much for me. You know what I mean? It was like I couldn't think.
He's looking at you, Mike, in that picture. He's looking right at you across 1,000 screens across the internet.
So Chuck said he met him, and now Chuck's facing the other way. But Chuck said he met him, and he said he was not impressed with his looks. He was like he was okay. And I just want you to look at this screen after you diddle with your balls or whatever you're doing, and look at this screen and tell me that this guy is not a beautiful person.
Can you answer one question for me first, or actually a couple?
Yes.
So how many times have we done this podcast so far?
This is the 7th one.
And how many times have we talked about Jared Leto?
Once.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Wrong.
Dude, it just made such an impression upon you that you couldn't,
you every
can't
time.
No.
We have to talk about Leto. I'm sick of it.
We don't. You know what? I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to stop my... No, I'm going to go to my next one. I'm going to go to my next thing I have prepared. All right?
Oh,
all right, Chuck?
These are the photos on your computer. You didn't look this photo up. You downloaded this
he's
photo.
a good-looking guy. He's got great beard density.
All All right,
Nice
so
style choices. He has no chest hair. I don't know what's going. It's all went to his
can I move
face.
this? Oh, I gotta move that down. Okay. Can
Maybe
I?
he shaves
You know
it.
what? I got to admit, I didn't have any chest hair until recently, but everybody knows as you get older, the hair on your head moves to your chest and your back. So now I've got like 18 chest hairs.
Yeah.
And
It also moves to
so,
the top of your ear. In my case, for some
and the
reason.
top of my ear. That's right. Those little buggers.
Oh yeah, that
But,
happens. You gotta shave that, like in your ear. You like shave that.
Dude, I have hair that grows off the top of my ear, the top,
Oh yeah.
and I pull it, and then it comes back. I looked last night; there was nothing there. I woke up this morning; it had grown like a quarter of an inch
Oh,
while I
boy.
slept.
Oh boy. So can you guys see this? You're not gonna be able to
Trying
hear
kill
this.
someone.
That's disgusting,
I
Chuck.
can't. Nothing's changed. I see the same Leto.
You do?
Yeah, same Leto.
Oh,
Connor
man.
had the mustache going last week.
Oh,
He
new
looks
share.
like he could be Leto.
Screen. Okay, screen. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, you see this?
Oh, here we go. Now I see it.
You
Okay.
missed it when he had the stash.
So this, Chuck, I want to show you this. Seji put this video on the other night. I don't know why. She's, to like show the kids. She's like, Daddy was in a band. And I made her stop at this point and replay this so that they could see what happens here in this video. So try see if you can see it. Did you see what just happened?
Someone ate shit.
Yeah, exactly. Let me rewind that. Let me rewind that for a second. Let me show it again.
Watch
What's that?
what happens in that sequence.
Can we pause? Should we pause it like halfway through?
It's hard to tell from
This is a
my.
microcosm.
Oh
of-
shoot! I tried to pause. This is pretty much defines the relationship. So
Yeah.
so I'm on a bike coming around the corner, and I throw the bike off like I'm trying to be cool. And guess who is right behind the bike?
You sabotaged
Was
him.
behind the bike? He's running as fast as he can. he gets, he gets destroyed. He
Look at an
gets-
asshole, man. You should, and then look at the blood.
Oh,
Go to the blood.
Cobblestone fucking bricks.
Oh my god!
Holy shit.
Now watch the knee. I'm running with my crooked ass legs bleeding.
Oh my god!
Well, this
Oh
was
my!
shot
Look at how bad this video is. This was a horse and oh my god! That was a horrible experience, but God,
Yeah.
that was the best. I know that was probably the worst part of the experience for you, but now looking at this, dude, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
Well, it was like partially my function in the band was to absorb damage like this.
From the bike.
Look at that. Dude.
From the bike. That's like that scene in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid when they're all hanging out on the bike.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking hit him with it.
and Bodie, right? Bodie's reaction there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Or is that
just,
Levi?
that was Bodie. That was Bodie.
That's
Yeah, that was
Bodie.
Bodie.
Bodie Bodie was thrilled by that.
Yeah, because he was kind of rocking to the tune, He was digging like the drums, Hopefully, he continues to dig and
No, he turned like with like a bloodlust smile on his face.
did he? Was he happy?
Oh, look at him.
Oh, how do I get back to this? I got to go to screen share. Oh, I know how to do this now.
Oh, don't worry about it. Yes, if it's
No, it's easy. It's very
big
easy.
It's like, don't worry, we don't know what.
insane.
Here it is. You see it again? So he comes. Oh yeah, he was laughing.
Look, he's got.
Can you hear the volume?
Levi's concerned. See, Levi's concerned.
Yeah, Levi was telling us that the video was putting him to sleep because it was so boring. He wanted to watch like Bakugan or something.
Yeah, here.
Bodhi, and then Bodhi starts wiggling his tooth there because he's got a loose tooth. So, but the
You look pretty fierce with your pilot helmet.
Yep.
Did you let me ask you a question. Could you hear the volume from that video?
I
No.
couldn't hear it.
So the volume is like me laughing and like Seji kind of cackling in the background when we because I made Seji stop it to play it again. I go, you got to play this part again. So Seji thought it was like, oh my god, like I can't believe that like you did that to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, I did. And
Good life.
the kids were like, why'd you stop it? And like, they want things like very fast moving. They don't want to be like waiting around, you know?
Right. Like
They want people falling. Is what they want.
They want they want like, you know, brand name stuff. They want like, you know, Gujitsu or like Bakugan or you know, something that they know and a toy they could play with, you know, and
Something colorful and foreign.
Yeah, Bodie's into Roblox and Minecraft, and it's just like you stop a video to rewind it for that. Like that's not good enough for kids these days.
Yeah.
But
Blood, sweat, and tears, not good enough.
But God, dude, that was a crazy experience. That was produced. Speaking of production, Connor, that was kind of produced like a serious video. We were supposed to be there at 6 a.m. Remember that, Chuck? And we were literally like 1 minute after 6, and we were getting phone calls, and I was like 2 minutes down the road, and I was like, I didn't realize this was that serious. We just came off a tour, and like the next day we had a 6 a.m. shoot. I'm like, I'm sure it'll be a little bit loose, and it was not, and it was
No, because that stuff costs money, and anytime you're wasting, and you're working with like light and stuff, so yeah, punctuality is kind of important.
Yeah,
that whole.
lighting.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. I was I was piggybacking what you were saying.
No, yeah, you're in the business, so you know. I mean, we had the full art department and wardrobe and.
Yeah, but I didn't know. Did you know that we had that? I didn't know that it was going to be a full-on production.
I don't think. No, we didn't. We didn't know anything until we got there.
We thought it was like normal when we would do a video shoot. It was like you show up to the guy's house and you like talk for like an hour, and he shoots you like playing the drums for a little while or something. He's like, let me use my slow-mo camera. It'll look real cool. And then just piece together something, you know. I'd never been called at 6:01 when we were supposed to be there at 6 in the morning. And like, you know, it was like, I was like, what is this? And then like Chuck saying there was all wardrobe. It was like super produced.
Mm-hmm.
And we had hand warmers because it was freezing cold. And it was just like it's not that fun being an actor. I'll tell you that
You know
much.
what else happened? That horse stepped on my foot.
No.
That sucked too.
Every mode of transportation mowed him down in that fucking.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like I should only be walking, and everything. Stay away from.
Or stepped on his foot, and you know
I
what's kind of
skateboard. How dumb is that? I was on the fucking skateboard, like I'm a skateboarder.
You're better than I am.
Which means like nothing. I mean, you saw me in the video.
I mean,
around old and shit too. Looking, it's like ridiculous. And then you take me out with your bike. I should have just been fucking killed at the end of that video. Is what the end of it should have just been gradually like the side thread to whatever was happening was like I'm slowly being killed, and that was,
yeah. The last thing is the horse dragging you along.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. It ends like I'm just like decapitated in a field somewhere.
Yeah.
Honestly, you got a little banged up on that fault. Like ripped your pants, didn't it? And like you like skinned your knee and stuff.
Yeah, you can see me bleeding in the shot following it. I didn't get cleaned up. We kept that shit in for accuracy.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, you were bleeding. That's a little intense. I apologize for that. That was actually my fault. You'd think that when I was going this way, you know, around the corner, and the natural thing was you just let the bike go. But I should probably think if I have a thing as big of a bike, and you're behind me, I shouldn't throw it to where you're running towards. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
You would if you trusted he could jump over it on a skateboard.
If I ollied it.
Trust that Mike had you.
It's like I needed to do like an ollie dismount onto like cobblestone and then run. It was like way out of my league.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting point that Connor brought up though. Maybe I just had a lot of confidence in you, and that's
what
it.
Too much confidence.
I'll throw this bike wherever I want. He'll get over it. He's a ninja.
The dude's a king.
King man over it.
Yeah. Sorry to let you down, man. And not only did I let you down, I let everyone down. You saw that video.
No.
Oh, look, that's cute. The dog is sleeping butt to butt.
Yeah, they're totally. They totally fit on this couch perfectly.
I think I remember a movie that reminds me of that.
You know, bringing it like, you know, up again this many years later. I think that one incident that happened, Chuck brought the video way up for me, because when I watched that video, I think of like this so goofy, and I did not have a good time making it. Except when I see that, my spirits are lifted higher than, you know, they mostly are all the time. You know, that's a peak feeling when I see that happen. Why is that?
It's joy, right? It's like euphoria. It's like a hit of like some fucking shit. You're just like, yeah, love it.
That goes. I did that, and I'm still getting away with it.
Exactly, that's the joy.
It's like taking a whipping. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Untouchable.
So listen,
it's like highly produced too. It's like this like highly produced fucking captured
get
moment.
At 6 a.m. and get this shit kicked out of you. How about that?
Yeah, we're gonna make something that's gonna make Mike laugh like for the rest of his life. And bring him joy.
If it wasn't for that, I would freaking watch that video and be like, I would never watch it. I'd be like, this is the shittiest video. I hated doing this. But because of that, dude, like it's like 3 to 5 seconds of pure joy in there.
I know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that happened to you, though. That's a real bummer. So we got about 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in our format. Is there anything that people want to talk about, or what can we do for the last 4 minutes?
I want to talk about my new hybrid dog species, the headless double-assed.
Wait, yeah. When you walked in like 30 minutes ago, you called it. He's like, the multi-dog.
You got multi-dog going on.
Multi-dog's so funny. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, man. It's a new breed. There's low maintenance, no shit to clean up because they ass shit into each other.
Shit each other, yeah.
Do they just eat what you just made in the backyard?
Yeah, they're there for general organic matter cleaning.
You just dug everything up so you could get the weird dog breed food out there?
Yeah, so I could just terrify my neighbors so they don't look over the wall anymore.
Oh.
You see that thing walking around and they're like, whoa.
It was a really intense process. He went through all this study. Is how he was going to meld these two dogs together in perfect harmony. And at the end of all his research, he just got a bamboo stick and pushed them together.
Which I made into a flute. Yeah.
Yeah, a flute.
Now I play a song on it every night.
Yep. It's good.
It's good. Worked out well.
So the neighbor looks over the fence and you're like, I make these flutes and I make these dogs. If you ever need one of them, you let me know.
Just check my eBay store.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dogphoria.
And exactly.
Flute Dog Emporium. I haven't named it yet.
What was the name? What kind of emporium?
Flute Dog.
A flute dog. Well, that's kind of cool.
Fluted dog.
Fluted dog.
We flute dogs here. Just like people fleece trees, we flute dogs here.
Right. It's a new niche business.
Yeah. Have two dogs, but you don't want them in two places at the same time.
Right.
Your dog.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a what is it? Billions and billions of dollars in the pet industry. So I mean, it's not like
tired of cleaning up dog shit.
All right.
Have your dog shit into your other dog. But the unfortunate thing is they live only about 2 weeks.
Right,
So-
and explode, and so you gotta get rid of them.
Yeah. On the 14th day, you get them about 20 yards away from your house and watch as the shit grenade goes off.
Yeah, it's a weird breed.
Well, if you're on the subscription service though, then you can just get the new dog mailed to you on the 14th day anyway. So it's
Fucking stroke of genius.
Gee. Oh,
Dude,
fuck.
maybe we had you here for a reason, man.
Fire up those puppy mills, you know?
Fluted dog subscription service.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. I'll start working on the business plan.
Yeah, I need a PowerPoint.
If we have 38 seconds left, I can talk about how I hurt my hand and I got it x-rayed.
Yeah, I'm going to extend a 5-minute Connor jam right here.
No, I just
Extend it.
I was gonna crash. I was gonna burn and crash on purpose. No, I fucked up my hand though for sure. Don't do jujitsu. Like that jujitsu stuff sometimes hurts your hand and all your bones and stuff. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's not good. That would not go well for me.
No, that's like I was showing Simone and stuff. You know, jujitsu. I have to say this for the sake of whoever's watching this, but I was showing Simone jujitsu and stuff, and she likes that. But the real game plan is. See, here's what I want to leave on is it's not about the jiu-jitsu. It's about the kung fu that you develop. Your awareness of where you should be, who you should be talking to, when you should be leaving. That's the real utility. The jiu-jitsu is if everything else goes wrong, right? So, especially when you're an 11-year-old girl. So,
yeah. So wait, what is the premise of kung fu then? Because I'm not as familiar with these things as you seem to be.
Oh, well,
Well,
Chuck,
it's
you
a
wanna
kung
give it
fu
a go?
master. It's not a big deal.
Come on, man. How much time? This is for the next podcast. You're asking the guy.
Oh, it is.
I extended it 5-minute Connor time.
I'm sorry. Maybe this is the 5-minute teaser stinger.
Yeah. Okay. Tease me.
Yeah. Well, Kung Fu is a mindset. Kung Fu is presence. Kung Fu without me being a jackass using $8 words is it's presence. It's knowing not to be in a bad situation. But if you don't get in you get these kids who never get in fights. Imagine you have all these kids that they wait for that one fight in their life and all that horrible anxiety they go through waiting to finally get hit in the face by a stranger. It's terrible. So you just get the punch out of the way and get hit in the face. And then you're like, oh, it's cool. It's not that big a deal. My face hurts. My pride's a little hurt, but it's all good. So then they can work through the idea of I shouldn't be getting in a fight. What does a fight look like before it happens? And then they can avoid everything. That's the real takeaway. That's the kung fu. Punching's not kung fu. It's not getting in a bad situation, not escalating a situation. That's kung fu. That can be learned from anything.
So that kung fu you don't hit people in kung fu? There's no kung fu moves?
I tell you what, if someone's good at kung fu, for every badass, if you ask any badass dude on this planet how many fights he's won, take the number of fights he's won and multiply it by 10. That's the number of fights he stopped before they happened with kung fu.
So everybody is not kung fu fighting?
No, people don't have kung fu. They don't develop the sense of when not to be in a situation. If I'm in a bathroom and there's 3 people standing behind me while I'm peeing in a stall, I bet they're really interested in how long my dick is. No, they want to beat you up. Get out of there, huh? It's not knowing what the fuck is going on, because here's the thing, when a bad situation comes up, you tend to think stupid even before anything bad happens. Because you're just you almost want to give everything the benefit of the doubt just so you don't come to the reality that you're about to get pummeled. But if getting pummeled's not such a big deal, you don't really care. You're like, okay, well, I don't, you just are able to work through it a little more cognizantly.
So you mean would you talk to the people and say, hey guys, what's up? You seen that new Remote Players Club podcast with Connor on it, or do you with Dr. Chinggis or Mr. Chinggis, whatever it is? Or do you just like get in the zone and be like, I'm just gonna zen them out, and then I'm out of this. I'm out of here.
Yeah. No, you just got to get out of there. Yeah. I go, dude, you should see this new podcast. It's really great. They let me on. It was fantastic. There were 2 dogs connected at the ass there. And then all of a sudden I'll look down and my shoes are gone.
Right.
So that's not Kung Fu.
That's not Kung Fu.
Not Kung Fu.
So Kung Fu, you just kind of go about your business, and you just like, I don't need it. I don't need to get hit. I'm like, I just don't need it. Like, I'm just going to go, but you know what I mean? And just like pretend like.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who just got something to prove, and that's horrible Kung Fu. You know, there's all these people who just want to get in a fight because they haven't been in a fight, or they got in fights and they just like have issues to work through, so they're going to work through some stranger's face at a bar. So they got to pick a fight. Everybody knows a guy like that.
Right.
Everybody who like, you know, starts fights. It's more so the idea of just like not knowing. It's scary, like getting in a fight. I'm not trying to talk from some kind of like high, like I'm just talking like as a guy, like it's spooky to think of the idea of like getting like crumpled, and like it's also really bad because you get crumpled by the wrong person. They're like gonna kick you when you're down. Like it's bad. But even despite how bad it can get, like you just gotta be like, you have to be conscious. You have to be like calm, or like you're gonna say something stupid, or you're going to miss a detail that's very important, like his buddy coming out from around in the side and he decides to punch you in the back of the head because you didn't see him because you were so focused on doing this right that you forgot about all the rest of this. You got the blinders on, you know, and that's just like kids work through not having that anxiety when it counts by just like being physical, by like roughhouse and stuff like that. You know, it's like step one into like being able to take care of yourself when you're out there. It's Kung Fu. I call it Kung Fu. Why not?
Yeah. I like Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Kung Fu tries to be nonviolent by the by like kind of introducing the idea, it sounds like, and then figuring out how to avoid it.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, it's weird chicken and the egg thing. It's like, since you're badass, no one messes with you, or are you badass because no one messes with you?
Yeah.
You know?
That's probably the first one.
Yeah.
I think I pinpointed it, at least for maybe me and Chuck, but I don't know. Chuck did get hit one time in the jaw.
I heard about that one. The fucking biker guys in Boston, right?
Yeah, they did not perceive me as an indomitable badass.
Was it Boston or was it Philly?
It was Philadelphia.
Yeah, don't bring Boston in. Don't. No.
Sorry.
Don't you bring Boston.
You know what? When he told me that story, we were in Boston, so I superimposed it onto the Boston streets.
Right. It's pretty easy to do, but
yeah, I never got it. The weirdest shit that ever happened to me in Boston was one time I was walking home randomly in when I was first living at Chad's place, wherever the hell it was, and I like put up a state radio sticker somewhere, and all of a sudden like 10 cops busted out and like fucking were like on me, like they had been staking out looking for people who are tagging shit and putting up stuff, and luckily they didn't see the like 1,000 other stickers I had in my bag or whatever, you know. They did kind of a half-ass search, but they just let me walk. It was so weird. I was like, it was like the fucking SWAT team dropped out of the sky after I put this fucking sticker on this like little like transformer thing, you know, like holy shit.
That's weird.
They put a gun on you. They're like, "You the sticker kid? You the sticker kid?"
You look like
nah, man, nah, dude. It's just a random incident.
You look like the riffraff going around town. I mean, there's times when we would walk into a store on tour, you know, in places, and they'd be like, I'd see the cashiers like noticeably be like, oh boy, these guys coming into our store. These boys coming into our store in the middle of the day.
Smelly hippies.
Up to no good with no job. No.
Yeah.
Smelly hippies. My buddy,
the worst was flying, because you'd fly with people and they would just be revolted by you.
Yeah, dude, that's what happened. About the Overton window. Holy shit!
What
if you guys are smelly hippies back in the East Coast, if that's what like counts for smelly hippie. That's crazy.
Oh, dude, definitely does. You know what's funny?
Yeah. And like more so flyover country, like when you're in the Midwest, that's when you're getting the hairy eyeballs.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
You run into like fucking Sheets or I mean like, whatever. Fucking some gas station in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in the middle of the country and you have a wool coat on of any kind, like a wool overshirt, they're gonna be like, "What do you want?"
Yeah, one time at the rest stop in Texas, this trucker comes up to me and he says, "Hey, is that your van?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's our van." What He's like, "You guys better get out of here, and you better get out of here quick." And I'm like, "Why?" What are you talking about? He's like, "You got those stickers that you have on your van?" I'm like, "Yeah. So what's the problem?" He's like, "Not around here, dude. Like, you need to get out of here." And these two come sauntering out, and they're like, talking. I'm like, "Guys, I think we should probably go." I was just giving a warning that we might be in mortal danger here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But
Massachusetts tags didn't help either.
What's up?
Massachusetts tags didn't help either.
Oh yeah. The Yankees. They don't like the Yankees down.
It was the Yankees all along. Yeah.
Yes. It was anti-Red Sox.
No, I meant Yankees from up north, like not the actual New York Yankees.
Yeah.
The New York Yankees, no thank you. Boston people. I could be in a lot more trouble than you'd think if I was on here talking about the New York Yankees and supporting them. It's not a good situation there.
The carpetbagger sentiment's still strong in the middle of the country.
Yeah. This is a funny story, too. When we went on a plane ride one time, we came back. I think it was when we did the Morello tour, and we played in Boston, but we did a show with Matt Nathanson in, like, D.C., and he was just, like, he was kind of, I don't know what he was doing. He was, like, yelling at us because we were in his way. Like, he was telling us to get out of the way. Remember that? Where he's like coming, he's like, get out of the road, guys! Like to the guy who was driving the car, and we're like, dude, we're just trying to leave. We gotta get to the airport to play with Morello and company in Boston. And we go on. I sit next to this woman. I think she's great. We have a great conversation. I leave the plane, and I get an email 2 days later. He goes, from my buddy. He says, I was just talking to my colleague, and my colleague is flying back from Maryland to Boston. And she said this kid sits next to her, and 3 guys get on the plane. They look like terrorists, and one of them sits right next to her. Okay? One of them sits right next to her. And she's like, this is it. I'm done. Like, this plane's going down. This is horrible. And my buddy's listening to the story. He's like, okay, continue. She's like, turns out the guy's really nice. He plays in a band. He's a local band. He played at the in Boston. My buddy goes, is his name Mike? And she's like, yeah, his name was Mike. And he's like, what's the band? State Radio? And she's like, that's it. That's the band. He's like, oh my God. I can't believe that.
Nicest guy I met that whole week. He said inshallah before he left, and we parted ways.
That's right. But I'm like, oh my God, that's how I was perceived?
Good God.
Good God.
Yeah, the domestic terrorist vibe's real strong nowadays. Even back then.
Terrorist vibe was very strong. And I was like, oh my, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, yeah. And she goes, also, they were acting kind of funny before they got on the plane. And I go, oh yeah, because we were afraid the plane was going to get delayed, or maybe it was delayed a little, and we were worried about getting back for the show. And I think we were acting a little weird, like trying to rush in there, and it was like, we weren't looking like we should be acting weird.
We were heading to a business conference, like in our middle management positions or whatever.
No, we weren't looking like that at all. I guess we were looking pretty rough.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
That is good. All right. Well, on that story about the terrorist situation that we had, let's see. Connor, you got anything else to add here? You want to go out on Kung Fu, or what do you want to go out on?
Oh, I would love to go out on Kung Fu. I'll plug my dates. I'm here whenever you guys want me, and I'm available most of the time.
Yeah.
My website doesn't exist, and that's about it. Yeah, God, love talking about Kung Fu, man.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a Kung Fu special episode next time. We're gonna Kung Fu.
If we do a Kung Fu special, I'll get a thing and I'll rip off the sleeves, and I'll get really bad lighting, and I'll start throwing some about like hip high Chuck Norris snap kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll put together some soundtrack stuff so we have the appropriate music.
That's a great plan.
Perfect.
That is a great plan.
Kung Fu breakdown.